at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast. Sadly, it is because Dodgers are tough to watch right now, but it's all right. The Rockies are in town. Things are going to get better. Things are going to get good. The Dodgers are going to win. The Dodgers are going to sweep. They play them 3 games. They're going to win all 4 of them. Anyways, we got other things to talk about before then. We're going to talk about the MLB power rankings that dropped today a little bit. We got some voicemails, 3 up, 3 down returns, and more on another edition of the All Dodgers podcast. First, my name is Clint Pasillas. Find me as Real FRG on the social media platforms and things. That guy to my stage left here, I guess stage right, is Kevin Skinner. Find him at Skinner7 Kevin on the Twitter machine. And listen, we'll just throw it out there right now. Everybody who was watching last Thursday knows that he was going to Dodger Stadium for his bachelor party. And let's just say he went to Dodger Stadium for his bachelor party and things happened. And the Dodgers played the worst game in home franchise history.
I think I need to stop going to Dodger games when they play the Cubs at Dodger Stadium because I've now seen the combined no-hitter and the 16-0 route against the Cubs in Los Angeles. So I think it's a me thing. It's a me thing.
We are banning Kevin Skinner from Dodger Stadium until, or at least, against the Cubs. I think that's super fair. Just get rid of the Cubs. Right. Again, it wasn't your decision to see the Cubs. It just kind of ended up happening that way. But
I tried. It's just a curse, man.
He tried his damnedest.
I'm seeing them on Tuesday too. It's. So if they lose 14-0 again, I'm sorry.
That's right. That's right. Of course, Dodgers at Cubs again. A lot of Cubs with that Tokyo series mixed there in there and all that. But anyways, guys, thanks for joining us. Sound off in the comments. Let us know how you're feeling about these Dodgers. I'm sure everybody's feeling great. Everybody's feeling super level-headed about how the team has been playing. I'm not as on edge. I'm really not. I think this is just part of the long story of a season. We've seen them play worse. We've seen them play better. Pitching has been okay. Starting pitching has been really good. The offense is kind of doo-doo, and we're going to talk about that more later on during 3 up, 3 down and all that. We got some State of the Dodgers coming up. But guys, again, sound off in the comments. Also, let us know where you're representing your Dodgers fandom tonight on this Modelo Monday. Even though I'm not drinking Modelo, I was going to get a drink and then I forgot it, but I got the bottle here. We might hit the bottle today because it's been a while since I've drank during a show. I'll also tell people, like this video, subscribe to the channel, do all that kind of stuff. We'd appreciate it. It goes a long way. So let's talk about the state of the Dodgers a little bit. 3rd place at the moment, 2.5 games behind the Padres. And somehow the MLB.com decided that the Dodgers would still top the MLB power rankings. And usually I don't care about talking about the power rankings thing. I think it's a waste of time. But, first in MLB power rankings despite losing their last 3 series, not looking really good, not playing good on all sides of the ball consistently. I wonder this, is it earned or is it just lazy? It feels like lazy writing. It feels like, with all due respect to Will Leitch, he didn't do a lot of research. He didn't really care that much, or maybe he's like, I believe the Dodgers are still going to come out on top over the Padres, who we were talking about just before going live. Padres have had a really weak effing schedule.
Yeah, no, definitely. And this narrative doesn't. I think we had this at a point last year where the Dodgers were kind of scuffling, and the only reason anybody cared is because the Padres were playing really well, and so were the Diamondbacks at a point. Look, if the Dodgers or if the 3 best records in baseball aren't in the NL West, this is a non-issue. No one cares. It's just that the Giants are playing well. It's that the Padres are playing well. So everybody, comparison's the theft of joy. So by definition, and for those teams to do well, it's not a knock against them. It's just the Dodgers are the most talented team in baseball. For those teams to do well, they have to have players that are basically playing to their highest potential. You have Fernando Tatis Jr. going off. You had Michael King last night throw a complete game shutout. The Padres specifically have just guys that are playing kind of to their 100th percentile level. Whereas the Dodgers are 11-6 and they've got a truckload of guys that just suck right now. And that just feels bad when you see the Padres surging, the Giants surging, and yet we're still sitting here. Yeah, it's third place, but we're 11-6 on pace for 105 wins. Like, it's the sky's not falling. It's fine. We'll be fine. This happens every single year. Richie Flores 499.
So whether it happens in April or May or September, it happens every year. But go ahead.
Yeah, he says, I don't know what's worse, Kevin blowing us off this weekend, no invites to his wedding, or him responsible for Saturday. It's definitely me being responsible for Saturday. That is the worst thing that happened.
Yeah, that's the one thing from us talking before. That sounds like the one thing that you had control of was how bad the Dodgers played.
Yeah, so it might not have been my fault. So for reasons that we will not go into further, I left when Ben Kasparius threw his second pitch. So in my brain, and until I looked at my phone later that night, the Dodgers were only losing 2-0. Yeah, I was like 2-0, cool. And I checked my phone and 16-0. I was like, holy. So Andres Martinez is upset that Tatis is nowhere playing near his top level. I don't know, dude's got like a 990 OPS. That's like pretty much any baseball player's top
level. And without
the
stuff too, without the ringworm medication, that's what you're going to get. And that's very good. Listen, Nando's a great ball player. Manny Machado's a great ball player. Xander Bogaerts is employed by the San Diego Padres. He is a baseball player. Michael King is an absolute ace. He's a dog for that team. But listen, guys, there's a thing we really need to focus in on, and they have a 2.5 game lead in the NL West due the Padres. Dodgers in third place, but the San Diego schedule, the strength of schedule has been just so goddamn weak. They opened the season with Atlanta. Atlanta, of course, didn't win their first game until like their 8th game of the season or something like that. Cleveland is the only, San Diego's played 2 over 500 teams. Cleveland, they are 8-7 at the moment. Of course, Chicago Cubs is the only team that has actually taken a series against the Padres, and then they played Oakland and Colorado. Like, I'm not saying the Dodgers have played all the best teams in baseball, but I think you and I going out and playing some baseball against some of these dudes, some of those teams, maybe Oakland, Sacramento,
it's just
ATH, whatever you want to call it. Listen, they will forever beat Oakland, even when they're Las Vegas. Same with the Raiders. Oakland, Colorado, we have a pretty goddamn chance, damn good chance of beating them. I want to address a couple of the comments in here. Our buddy Mike, Doomstyle, saying less than 20 games into the season, the sky is not falling. And exactly, like we were saying before, a stretch like this, any other point in the season, we wouldn't be that worried. If this is July or August, we wouldn't care. We really wouldn't care. I see Wolfmask Jack Profar borrowed some of that Tatis ringworm medicine too. Listen, we love a good steroid joke here at the All Dodgers podcast. Kevin Uhas says, let's do shots. I already did one, but I'm going to do another one for Uhas while you read a couple of comments.
Well, I read a comment. Okay, the Cole Taylor, I highlighted this earlier. The fact that the NL West is stacked is what I think has fans concerned. We have a gauntlet to run through. Yeah, Dodgers have played the Phillies. I know the Padres also had a really rough East Coast trip as well, weather-wise. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the Dodgers caught the Phillies in some of the worst weather they're going to play in all year. Honestly, the biggest takeaway from me in the early goings of the season is the Cubs might be for real.
Yeah.
That offense hums.
God, Justin Steele, that's a big loss, man.
It's a huge loss. The offense hums. They got to get the starting pitching. The bullpen was an issue, and it will continue to be an issue moving forward. They have to bolster it, but good Lord, that lineup is nasty. Michael Busch, good for him. Turns into Barry Bonds. Somebody's got to do it. Someone has to wear the mask, and it's Michael Busch right now. Kyle Tucker, duh. Like, we knew that was coming.
Great pickup, yeah.
Great pickup. Like, the Cubs are for real. I think that's, like, my biggest takeaway. That and, God, whatever I just said about the Cubs, invert it, and that goes double for the Rockies.
Yeah, Rockies not good. They're never good at baseball. Yeah, I'm assuming we went off screen for Shotskis.
Yeah, I got a little gin right here.
Clever girl. Orlando, by the way, Orlando's in the chat, says hello, Dodger friends. Shouting out a lot of our friends here in the chat as well. Jenny Vega, Kenny Chung, BC's in the chat. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Timmy in the chat, of course, and more. Richie in the chat. I see Kevin Skinner in the chat as well. Anthony Keene, what's going on, buddy? Hopefully you're feeling better. Keene, when Keene is down, the Dodgers play poorly, so we need to get Keene back up and rocking, back on his feet here. Our buddy Jeff, Locked On Dodgers, has his opinion. Power rankings are like every other sports argument. No two people arguing about them define them the same way. And listen, you had voice of reason on Thursday. Get out of here with that crap.
It's here to overreact.
We'll have overreactions. By the way, we do have some voicemails coming up, so we'll play those in a second. I do want to play voicemails earlier in the show for this one because I think it plays into the state of the Dodgers and all that kind of stuff. But it's worth noting if we're talking about and kind of buttoning this up. Listen, the Dodgers opened the season with a number of dudes on the injured list. No Gonsolin, no Phillips, no Kopech, no Clayton Kershaw. You missed a lot of Freddie Freeman in there. The first two games, no Mookie in the lineup with the illness. Blake Snell goes down after a couple of starts, and now San Diego's starting to lose some players. They lost Jackson Merrill for probably, at the bare minimum, 2 weeks with the hamstring, probably longer. Jake Cronenworth has a broken rib. He's going to be out for weeks. A month and a half, something like that. They lost one of their I don't know if we want to call him an ace starter, but losing Matt Waldron. That's still big innings picker, big innings guy for them. So
huge innings. Yeah, that was like kind of that stretch. If we had lost like James Paxton or Tyler Anderson, it's kind of the same, similar thing. Good, like somebody you don't. Their rotation is thin. It's very thin. So any injury to their rotation, they're gonna feel it pretty quick.
Yeah.
So it's a big blow, yeah. And Jackson Merrill with a hamstring, you hate to see it. Such a bright kid,
and a speed player to have a leg injury like that.
If it's gonna linger, that's what I worry about because he's fun to watch. Like he's so easy to root for too.
Kenny Chung with a great comment. I could see it too. So Seinfeld eating part. Yeah, that's a shame. It's great. That's a great meme right there. We'll give Kenny Chung the clap right there, so we appreciate him. Jeff hawking his show tonight. Don't forget to tune in to Locked On Dodgers tonight. Post game edition of Locked On Dodgers because Jeff isn't allowed to do his show at the right times anymore. I'm gonna keep bitching on his behalf because it does bother me. That's kind of where Dodgers are at right now. Like, I preface this whole discussion point with, says on the screen there, is it like lazy power rankings or is it fair? Honestly, Will Leitch is probably fair about it. Like, the Dodgers are still very good, and he understands, like, looking at the totality of what the Padres have been through, what the Dodgers have been through, I would honestly maybe consider moving the Giants up a little bit. Giants seem a little more real than the Padres, but things will finally get, I guess, normalize when NL West teams are playing each other. This is the first time the Dodgers have played an NL West team in this series against the Rockies, which is absurd. I hate this. They did a really bad schedule this time.
Talking to my friend about it before, it was like when we were driving up to LA, and it's ridiculous that we don't play the Padres until June.
That's what are
insane. What are we doing? Why are we pushing? Like, we should have a run of NL West teams basically to start the season right before the All-Star break and to end the season. Like, why are we waiting this long? Like,
you're testing yourself against your league competition, division competition at 3 different points of the season. I love that idea. You and I should make the schedule. We're going to do that.
All right. Rob Manfred, your people talk to my people. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Something like that. I did say I wanted to get to voicemails a little bit earlier in the show because people obviously have some thoughts about this team. So hang out with us through some voicemails. If you guys want to call in at some point for a later edition of the show, please consider it. 562-373-4095. Eventually, we're going to have watch parties on the channel. You and I are going to watch a game. Going to have more post games at some point as the season trends along right now. We understand people aren't that enthralled by the Dodgers when it's, April. You're coming off a World Series win. Like, the excitement is down right now, and I see it in the numbers. I don't want to put a lot of effort into doing a lot of content when people don't care about it right now, because I don't necessarily care that much about the Dodgers. Get me we're what's the word I'm looking for? We're spoiled. It's like we know we're gonna make the postseason. We know they're gonna well, we hope they're going to get deep into the playoffs and get us, just get us there already. Can we skip to the good part, I guess we'll say. But speaking of the good part, let's go ahead and listen to some voicemails. We got our buddy, our pal, our amigo, our compadre, Noah. Noah has some things to say.
Well, what up, guys? It's Noah, as you know. And I got to say, guys, it's 2024 all over again.
Yep.
We just have a bad bomb of the order, which needs to get resolved, just like last year. Last year, we were 11-6. Right now, we got 10 wins, so we're repeating that. And our repeat is Shohei Ohtani is off to a slow start. He was even slower last year, but ended up with 50-50. So don't worry about him. And then there's Freddie, the most consistent hitter we in essentially MLB. Everything will be fine, guys. Just take a deep breath. The only thing we all gotta complain about is I get my fucking Panda Express, please. Like, we gotta win, guys. That was going to be my meal today. And then for fantasy baseball, Tyler Glasnow didn't get the win. So that's something.
The important
but
things.
Anyways, calm down, guys. Let's just take a deep breath. Because no matter what, we're gonna win. It's just April, so let's not overreact. And anyways, guys, as you know, fuck the Dodgers Stadium parking lot. Fuck Fernando Tatis. Fuck Manny Machado. Fuck Jerks and Profar. And for the love of God, fuck the Ghost Runner. See ya.
And we are now officially demonetized. Thank you, Noah, for calling in, sharing your thoughts. Being also a voice of reason is Noah.
Hey, I didn't know Jeff called in.
Jeff calling in under the guise of Noah Ortega. And I think I love most of the points there that Noah made, mainly that I, too, would have loved to have had Panda Express today, $6 2-item combo. But instead, the Dodgers decided to lose 4-2 to the Cubs on that ESPN Sunday night baseball game, which, listen, we got some things. I know Richie has some things to say about ESPN. So let's go ahead and hear what Richie has to say. Everybody, take off your shoes, put up your feet, hang out. We're going to be here.
Well, hey, Clint. Happy whenever you're going to play this voicemail day.
Cheers.
Offensively, we couldn't get laid in a monkey whorehouse if we showed up with the whole truck load of bananas.
I'm drinking to that.
The offense is just non-existent. 5 through 9 has absolutely been abysmal. They're lower than whale shit, and that's at the bottom of the sea. The Cubs ran us out of our own yard. Offensively, defensively, and they ran the bases intelligently. They just pretty much clowned us the whole weekend. When you can't score runs, you put too much pressure on our offense. It's on the pitching side, no runs. You just put a lot of pressure on the bullpen and on the starting pitching, and every little mistake has been blowing up in our face. Ball gets away from Will Smith, they take third. We walk a guy, he scores. We misjudge a ball and not catch it in the right spot. It drops in for a base hit. They score. Every fucking little thing that came our way, it just blew up in our face, and the Cubs just ran through us like we didn't even exist. And then let's talk about Saturday, shall we? What a total shit show. The Rockies 5-inning start was a good sign, so we can hang our hat on that. Pages made a great catch in center field, and we're starting to see some improvement there, so that's a good thing. But then after that, the bullpen just implodes. Kasparius had a bad day. That's going to happen. But then Garcia comes in and just basically pours gasoline all over the fucking infield. And then Rojas, and I'll get to that in a minute, and yes, he's a position player. He started flicking matches all over the place, and the entire stadium burned down. And when you're getting clowned like that, your job is to be competitive, save the bullpen for the next day to try to win the series, and just try to get it through it with dignity. Those impressions of Roque and some other players and Kershaw in the middle of the game when you're getting your brains beat in, okay, that was absolutely horseshit. Okay, read the fucking room, Miggy. That was a bad look. That was fucking embarrassing. And I like Miggy, and very, very disappointed that he went out there and started laughing, and the dugout started laughing. Yeah, that's real fucking funny with a family of four who spent $500 for that Saturday night game. Yeah, that makes them walk away feeling real good. Just absolutely horseshit. Absolutely horseshit. What a fucking embarrassment. So fuck the Dodger Stadium parking lot. Fuck ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Fuck the in-game interviews. Fuck Tatis and for the...
Yeah, Richie ran so long there. He ran out of voicemail.
That's a first.
Realm
It's an
Treader
all
saying,
Dodgers
wow.
Wah, wah, wah.
Listen, yeah, wow. There's some things I agree with Richie on in there. There's some things I disagree on. The 5 through 9, I talked about this earlier today on Dodgers Territory with Alana Rizzo. Check it out every Monday, every Thursday. We will also be post-gaming tomorrow, Tuesday night, after a Dodger win. 5 through 9, 176. Hitting 176 collectively this season. That's a problem. They don't need to be no big city lawyer. That is a big problem.
Yep, that's a huge. Yeah, there's the same problem last year, same problem this year. Who could have seen that coming? Just need to find guys that are gonna produce at the bottom of the order. They'll. It's early. The sample, like we have people talking about the difference between 250 and 224 being like one extra hit. It's that early on. So everything bad that happens feels magnified because it's such a small sample size. It'll normalize. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
The only person that I'm like not super confident in normalizing for is Miguel Rojas, because I think last year was kind of an aberration. Miguel was like one of his best offensive years ever. Kind of think he's just back to being.
Yeah. Well, he's worse. He's worse. We are going to talk a little Miggy Rowe later on in the show. Just a couple minutes and 3 up, 3 down. But I agree that I would argue Max Muncy a little bit, to be honest. Like, I'm not seeing a lot out of Muncy that's inspiring a lot of confidence in me that he's getting closer to figuring it out. We're going to talk about them in just a minute. We do have one more voicemail, but I did want to talk about the Rojas thing. We talked about it a little bit with Jerry Harrison Jr. on Dodgers Territory today. I mean, at the time, Mickey Rowe came in. There was 2 innings left. It was, an 11-0, 12-0 game. He gives up 5 runs or something like that. Going out for a second inning, that's where things kind of went awry. I will say this. I mean, I would have left the game at that point before he even got in there. I probably would have left after Kasparis was pulled from that game. I would be more entertained watching Miggy Rowe do that, the antics on the field. I understand where Richie's coming from with the idea of, respect the game and it's a bad look and all that, but it's a different era now, like getting the viral bullshit that you get off of that and what it does. I mean, the players were having fun. It's a long season. Find a way to have a little bit of fun. It doesn't bother me. I guess the point I'm getting to, it doesn't bother me. And also, he shouldn't have gone out there for a second inning, but who else? Who else would have done that? We could have saw Austin Barnes on the mound. Give Kiki. People get mad when I call him Kiki.
You could have borrowed JT.
Yeah, JT. He's got a sterling ERA as at Dodger Stadium. Does the whole Mickey Rowe doing the antics, does that bother you at all?
No, I didn't care. I didn't care at that point. If the dugout laughs, cool. It's different right now than if it's September and you're in the middle of trying to win the division. It's like a tight in September and you're trying to win the division. Sure. Yeah, that'd bother me. It's April. You're getting absolutely destroyed. You're getting embarrassed. I don't know. There's no takeaways from the game either. There's not we should have done this better, or okay, we can really it's you flush it, you just move on to the next one.
That was a flush game.
Lost the next one. It's a flush game.
Great
So
point.
Whatever. Have fun on the mound. It was Miggy trying to bring up the the vibes a little bit, and some
which is
fans
his
didn't
job.
like it.
That's a big part of his job, being a vibes guy. Yeah,
and I think it got the dugout to chuckle a little bit, and maybe they were playing a little tight, helped them loosen up a bit.
Yeah,
it's different now. Like I said, if it happened in September, happened in October, wildly different. But right now, who cares?
Diane Schroeder has joined us in the chat. Appreciate Diane hanging out with us, telling everybody, please do like the show. Please do subscribe to the channel. Cole bringing up or echoing Richie's point here about people pay a lot of money to watch the team. Fans deserve better, even if it's early in the season. Imagine you can afford one game a year and you get stuck with that 16-0 clunker. Now, going to the worst game in the history of the Dodgers, the worst home game in the history of the Dodgers is one thing. I personally don't feel like I would feel better or worse if Miguel Rojas wasn't out there, or going out there and doing a Roki impression or doing a Kershaw impression. It's funny. He starts doing that Kershaw impression and he starts giving up hits. I'm just saying what we're all thinking. I'm saying what we're all thinking. He was lights out as pitching as Yoshi. So throwing that out there as well. But it's entertainment, and you're going to go to stinkers sometime. You're going to go to good games, and I don't think talking about this a lot more than I anticipated. But like, I'm not going to feel, if I'm at the game, I'm not going to be like, I can't believe they would do this to me. If Miggy Rowe is on the bump doing a high leg kick.
If you're above the age of 10 years old, your experience at the baseball game should not in any way be tied to what happens on the field. You should be there I know that might sound crass, but it's go there, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the game, enjoy being with people, enjoy being outside and watching a baseball game. No matter what happens, find something to enjoy. Like, yeah, they got absolutely hosed.
Yeah.
But if you were also there, you could flip it. You were there for the worst loss in Dodgers Stadium history. That's something you'll always talk about forever. Like, there's always an experience.
Some people go there and get to see the 8th floor through the elevator for reasons unspoken. Things happen at Dodger Stadium, and I would much rather go to Dodger Stadium and see any version of a baseball game than
correct. And now
not.
I want to make it very clear that this really only applies to like a select handful of teams. Teams like the A's or the White Sox, that's wildly different because, one, the ticket prices are so cheap, but also they're just horrible. So, like, you can go there and expect a horrible experience. So you at least go to a Dodger Stadium game and, your average experience at Dodger Stadium will just be better by the product on the field. But if they stink it up, like, it's going to happen. You can't it's not like, a basketball game where they just, like, rest all their starters one game. Yeah. And you lose your ticket value that way. You're at least seeing the guys that you paid to see. What happens on the field is completely out of all of our control.
Oh, got the burps going here. The booze is hitting. Cole saying, I could see them losing a game, but make it competitive. And the offense just wasn't there. At some point, tip your cap to the Cubs for holding the not so vaunted Dodgers offense down. Like, Dodgers bats are bad. They've come out slow. The top of the lineup was the only part of the lineup producing, and now you got some dudes that aren't even producing right now. And again, we're going to talk about that coming up in just a second on 3 Up, 3 Down. We do have one more voicemail from Brandon. Brandon Fellows calling in once again. He called in last week, was super nice, and let's hear him again.
What's up, Clint? Brendan Fellows again, calling you from beautiful Austin, Texas. I'm on my way home. And I'm just kind of thinking, watching the game, listening to it on the radio, and it's a Sunday night game. And I'm thinking about how kind of the Padres are coming out to a hot start. And, I'm thinking about the equivalent of where we would be if we were in the NFL season. And I think, they're 11-3, so maybe 12-3. So that means they're 15 games. So the equivalent would be that we're not even done with the first game of the year if this was a football season, right? Because I'm factoring it's about baseball season's 10 times as long as the NFL season, right? So maybe we're through like halfway through the fourth quarter of the first game of the year. And seeing everybody kind of online freaking out about how good the Padres are and how bad the Dodgers are doing. If the Chiefs lost the first game of the year and the Bills won the first game of the year, it's not like they'd be saying, oh, Patrick Mahomes has been dethroned and the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. It's like we're not even through the first football game of the year, right? Like, we are so new into the season. I still believe in our boys. I still think that, Shohei Ohtani's got a lot to go. We haven't even seen Max Muncy. I mean, if we know where he is, let's make sure he gets back to
Put him on a
1000
milk
Vince
carton.
Scully Avenue because he's been kind of MIA for the season. But just kind of thoughts, it's early, and I don't think anybody should be freaking out. Although I do feel like people think their pets' heads are falling off just because we like to freak out, and it's kind of a fun thing to do. But all in all, I think we're okay. Dodgers are still going to win the NL West. We're still going to win the World Series. That's what I believe. So go Dodgers, and love you, Clint. Talk soon, bro.
Appreciate Brendan calling in. A great voicemail there, being another voice of reason. Yeah, a few things we're going to talk about coming up here. Not too much to add, but yeah, Muncy just being a problem for this team. Padres are good. Somebody was talking about in the chat, like give the Padres their flowers. Yeah, listen, they're winning baseball games. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But it's super early. It will get better. Can't get too much worse, and it's still a team that's 5 games over 500. It's going to be fine. And, they play better, like in October when they're challenged during the season. I don't have too much more to add. Do you have anything else?
No, I do think about the season that way, too. It's like, okay, where would we be in the NFL season? And, yeah, it's kind of how I view it. It's like, okay, we're 1 game in and we lost the first game. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's how because it is such a long season. It's a really good way of putting a season with so many games into perspective. So I do that frequently.
Like, I understand people overreacting. I'm not. Watched a lot of baseball. We've all watched a lot of baseball over the years, but again, this is part of the long flow of a season. It's okay to be frustrated and annoyed with your team, with the players, with guys, how we perceive not doing their job up to snuff. But including Cole talking about Austin Barnes as one guy not quite doing his job as the backup catcher. But again, pets' heads not falling off yet. Give it time. Now, if you're doing this for another 3, 4, 5 weeks, then you're like, okay, there's some serious problems here. And Dave mentioning getting 150 at bats to guys like Kike Hernandez and Andy Pajes or whatever. Maybe that won't fly. But for now, you can kind of let it play out. Worked out for the team last year. Literally almost the same exact kind of thing worked out for the team last year. So let's go ahead and move on. I will say again, if you guys want to be featured in a future edition of the show, call in to the voicemail hotline. You see it there on the screen, 562-373-4095. Ask questions, share comments, be smart, definitely be funny, spark conversation, and I'll put it out here now. The voicemails are very long, guys. We need to tighten it up. We need to keep them a minute. Please, sitting here for a couple of minutes on screen is starting to weigh on me. So I will put that also into the Discord and everything. Gotta keep the voicemails a little bit tighter, guys. But with other things to say, I said Discord. If you're looking for a different way to support the show after I lambast the crowd here, I appreciate everybody who does call in. But check out our Patreon, patreon.com/realfrg, or click the join button here on YouTube, YouTube to join our YouTube members program or whatever. It's a great way to support the show if you're looking to do that. You also get access to our Discord where we're always talking Dodger baseball with each other. Nice community growing there. There are game meetups planned as well, but those are only for members of the Discord. So do check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, the best way to support the show is to hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your family, share with your grandma, and all that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about 3 Up, 3 Down because we're in the middle of April. It feels like a good reason to come up with a segment that has been used and drawn, dragged into the ground over and over again. And we're talking about 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm going to lead us off here with Will Smith. I want to talk about Will Smith and how good Smitty has been this season. And this is a guy that we've had, I've had some issues with. I've had some concerns with. Of course, we hear about this ankle issue in spring training that was, costing him something. He didn't have a necessarily great spring training, didn't have a good second half of last season. Does not seem to be affecting him so far this season. He's leading the Dodgers in average with 341 average right now, leading baseball and on-base percentage 481. Super small sample size, but posting, I believe, is a career best 969 OPS at the moment. moving up in the lineup tonight with Teoscar out with the illness, and I will address, yes, Teoscar Hernandez is out with the sickness, and it wasn't me. It wasn't my fault. I was in spring training like a month and a half ago, so Noah putting me on blast in the Discord saying I got the whole team sick. It wasn't me. Also, Alana was there, but that much aside, it feels to me like we're trending towards a point where we need to get Smitty batting a little bit higher in the lineup tonight, which is what he's doing. Tommy Edman a little bit down in the lineup as well. I really do like the look of tonight's lineup, and I think we're getting closer to what we talked about last week, like having a better 8 or 9 hitter, somebody that can get on base a little bit more. I think it just goes a long way in helping the top of the lineup kind of function. But anyways, I just wanted to glaze on Will Smith a little bit because I don't think he's got enough flowers to open the season.
No, he's easily been the Dodgers' most consistent hitter. He's used it's not about the long ball, which, I think many people, or at least the narrative right now is the Dodgers are a little too long ball reliant, which I would agree with, but he's using all parts of the field. He's doing a good job, just digging into his numbers. He's taking his walks. He's at the career high walk rate right now, which is good, but I mean, that's not something that's new. He's known for taking his walks. He's just doing it better than he has. And it just looks like he's also just staying more aggressive in the zone. We've seen him expand a little bit. He likes to kind of go chase some high fastballs. Sometimes that low and away breaking ball gets to him. Not so much right now. He's really keeping pitchers honest inside the strike zone, and it's leading to him putting the ball in play. More and more production. So I am really excited to see him get a little bit more opportunities in the four hole. He's batting cleanup tonight. However, I do want to kind of pull things back a little bit. I do hope that if he struggles, that the Dodgers aren't concerned or are at least willing to drop him back into the 6th spot. I know he's batted cleanup before and he's had some success, but he's also struggled because sometimes, being a catcher and batting cleanup is difficult. So, you catch the first inning, then you got to go hit, and especially with this lineup. So it's a lot to do in one quick inning, right as they get out of the game. So if we, trying to keep his legs healthy. I hope once Teoscar is back, I would like to see Will Smith drop back down to that 6-7 spot. I think it's just a little easier for him, and we want this guy to continue what he's doing throughout the whole season because we know he can do it early, but can he do it into July, August, September?
And that's the thing too. Like we could have a whole down all 3 downs be about Austin Barnes, and this goes into something we talked about a good amount in the offseason. The fact that there isn't a good backup catcher forces Will to need to be in that lineup a lot more than he needs to, forces him to be run into the ground. He's 30 now. He's going to be 31 this year. He's older. He's a tired boy. He has caught, a lot of innings since making his debut in 2019. And he is much more important for this lineup. Once again, everything when you're a Dodger fan, you're watching this team trends towards October. And he is much more important for this team in October than now. And every year he starts really, really hot, and then something happens, finding a way to protect him from himself, while at the same time, saying, hey, we move him up in the lineup. Like you said, he's hitting 4th tonight. I don't think he's a cleanup guy anymore. What would really help Will is if Muncy was hitting. I would say, because then you have that left-right balance, something you've mentioned before. We were talking about that last week with the whole idea of Tommy Edman batting 9th for this team, which I still very much love, but you need to get production elsewhere in that lineup and not have it all be 1 through 5, 1 through 4, 1 through 6 heavy. But if Muncy is somebody who could plug in between Smitty and Teoscar, you're gonna have a good time.
Conforto.
I don't know, man. I don't know how sold I am on Conforto yet. He's been fine. I don't want him to be the next version of David Peralta where things are expected of him and then all of a sudden he just disappears, or Jason Hayward or whatever, which is kind of the role he's in, but
he's a much better player than David Peralta and Jason Hayward.
It's fair.
At least offensively.
When he's
offensively,
right.
He's a better player.
When he's right, for sure. Well, I'll give you that. But anyways, should we do it where we do 1 up, 1 down, or how do you want to?
Yeah, let's do up, down, up, down.
Up, down, up, down.
Left, right, A, B,
I mean,
A, B.
listen,
Sure.
let's down then. We're talking about Muncy already. We've also talked about Miggy Rowe. We're kind of cheating a little bit here. It's sort of a combination, but You need to get more out of Max Muncy. This team so badly needs more out of Max Muncy. He's good for two things: hitting homers and earning walks, and he's not doing either of those so far this season. His 24 Ks are also fourth most in Major League Baseball. That's just not his profile. And Dave is saying that he likes some of the things he's seeing. Dave is also a very good player manager who's going to say nice things about his team. I'm not seeing a whole lot I love about Max at the moment. What do you think about Max?
So the one thing I do like is when he's making contact, it is hard contact. He does have an above average exit velocity. He's not a good barrel rate, which is really funny. He's not barreling the ball, but he's hitting it damn hard. So I like that at least.
Sandman Logic says Max needs glasses.
Maybe. Once he cannot lay off that high fastball. Yeah, because he's normally really good at hitting it out of the park. He's not a golf. His swing is that high fastball. He takes it straight down the line for a home run. That is his swing through and through. It's very violent. It's very fast. But that's what, and maybe age is catching up to him a little bit, and he's not able to do what he's usually able to do. I don't know. That's like complete speculation. I think the one thing that's concerning more than anything is the swing and miss. He's hitting the ball hard, but it's not often. And he's swinging a lot through pitches, and he's expanding the zone way more than we're ever used to seeing Max Muncy. So I would just like to see him rate it in. It could be a little bit in his head at this point. We know he can kind of get a little mental.
That's what I'm seeing, yeah.
He can get inside his head a little bit, but there are a few players, when Cody was struggling, it was like, okay, can Cody bounce back? I don't know.
No.
But with Max, it's like, if there's a guy that could figure it out, it's Max Muncy. Like, he's done it time and time again. He goes through these stretches. I do believe we will see a more improved version of Max Muncy in the, coming, I don't know about games, let's say weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you need to. I do have faith in Max. Again, I talked to him during spring training. He was looking good. He's feeling good. He's bought in on the season. He's bought in on his role. He needs to eliminate a little bit of that chase. Again, the strikeouts are a little concerning. It's a small sample size. Strikeouts a little concerning. The lack of walks a decent amount concerning for his profile.
Yeah.
And starting to turn some of that hard contact into baseballs flying, into the bat drop. We need more signature bat drop. Again, I said we're sort of cheating a little bit with this one because we kind of have 4 down to mix in Miguel Rojas. We can really put the whole 5 through 6 in the order, but Miggy Rowe not helping a lot on the offensive side, hitting 161, no walk, no pop. No pop. What are you seeing with Miggy?
The big thing is the defense has not been what we're used to seeing out of him.
He only has one error, I think, but not crisp.
But he hasn't been playing as much. Like, he has one error in less games than a lot of other players. Like, that's again, when it's early, it's a small. Everything is small sample sizes right now, so everything is magnified. But when your calling card is defense, and it's definitely not the bat, we really expect you to be consistent on defense. We being the fans, just want to make that clear. I'm not part of the team. Little bro don't think he's on the team. We expect good defense out of this guy, and it's not been the Miguel Rojas defense that we know. And again, hoping he turns it around. If there's someone who can play crisp defense, it's Miguel Rojas. But at the bare minimum, he's got to do that. And so I don't expect a lot from him offensively. But when he's not producing offensively and he's having issues on defense, then I start having a real problem with plugging in Miguel Rojas into the lineup, because then what does he actually add? And it's not a lot.
EB says in the chat, Miggy Rowe needs to cut up Muncy's cleats like he did with Jazz to piss him off, and he'll start hitting homers again. You wonder with somebody like Miguel Rojas, and I don't want to stay on this for too long, because the hope was to make this a shorter show today leading into game 1 against the Rockies. But you wonder if he maybe has too many things going on. I doubt it if that's the situation, but obviously getting unflattering or unsavory headlines to open the season. I don't know that Miggy Rowe is that kind of guy. Maybe he is, maybe he's not, but it hasn't been all around, the entire package for Miguel Rojas hasn't been ideal to open the season. You know, when you're getting your chances, you're not really capitalizing with walks, with clean base hits or whatever. A lot of rollover to the left side there. We've seen better defense, but he is an older boy now for sure. And again, headlines. If people having to address, teammates having to address, oh, has he ever been a bad teammate or whatever? No, probably not. I think only one guy sees him as a bad teammate or a bad veteran or whatever. But still, you just wonder if all of that kind of stuff kind of piles up to a not so great start for Miggy Rowe's season. I will say I feel better about Max Muncy figuring it out rather than Miguel Rojas. Luckily, the Dodgers have backups.
Definitely, at least offensively. I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't have a lot of faith in Miguel Rojas turning much around offensively. I think last year was the first year he's had as a league average bat in like 4 years, if I remember correctly. Yeah, last year was the first time he was above league average since the shortened 2020. But again, he's never been necessarily this bad, but he's usually not much better than this either. So
hey man,
I don't expect a lot of the plate. You got to play defense, though. You got to play defense.
Got to play defense.
Especially on a team with, not great defense. So,
one of these days we need to talk. We need to talk about that outfield defense at some point because
what outfield defense?
It's everything. It's everything I was worried about. Everything I was worried about. Moving on to another one of the ups, Tommy Edman. We got to talk Tommy again. We've already talked a lot of Tommy on the channel this season so far. Again, short
the official
season.
Tommy Edman channel. Come on,
the official Tommy Edman fanboy channel. Well, yeah, I guess with Scotty G not on Dodger Blue much these days, we're probably talking about him more because he doesn't have his platform, or at least the same platform. But I just want to talk about Tommy being the straw that stirs the drink, because when he produces, the Dodgers win. Dodgers 8-1 in games where he has at least one run batted in, 3-5 when he does not. Again, small sample size, but you need more than Tommy producing. But when he's producing, it has been special. And my God, is he looking like a bargain?
Yeah, that contract looks so good already. I said a week ago, don't ever move Tommy Edman away from second base. Stick him in center field.
Yeah,
he's out there saving runs. Yeah, it's just he's everything we wanted Chris Taylor to be at this point, or we had everything we want, or we looked at Chris Taylor as earlier in his Dodgers tenure. God, he's just so much fun to watch play baseball. Just does everything. I would like to see him raise his on-base percentage a little bit if we're getting real picky here, but on a team with bad defense, he is not the issue there, that's for sure. And he's definitely shown up at the plate. He's been honestly one of the few bright spots in this stretch of, I think, 7 games in the last 10 days.
Something like that, yeah. Again, small sample size of the season, yada, yada, but he's somebody you got to look at as an absolute up. This one is interesting because usually we're not talking about Shohei Ohtani in a negative light. But if I'm going to look at it down, and I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm looking at the full package that a player is putting together, we need to acknowledge something with Shohei Ohtani right now. He's kind of struggling. He's kind of struggling at the plate. I want to know how people are feeling about Shohei Ohtani in the chat. Do sound off, but he's hitting 222 with a 661 OPS over his last 40 plate appearances, which is the start of that road trip, that East Coast swing. Talking about swing, to me, the swing looks long. And his swing always looks long, but it looks, for lack of a better way of saying it, it looks a little too launch angle-y. Like he's really up swinging on those. He doesn't look like his normal superhero self. Am I making that up?
I think we just expect a lot out of him. He still has an 877. Yeah, no. He still has an 877 OPS on the year. Granted, it's been, dropping, over the last 6 games. It hasn't been pretty, but he's still doing really well. He has a hit in 4 of the last 6 games. 4 of the last 6 games. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's one of those things where you expect this guy to hit a home run like every night, and when he does it, we're like, what the hell? He's broken.
He's
That's
getting paid like $2 million a year. He should be hitting home runs.
I actually think, though, in the Ohtani conversation with this specifically, it ties a lot into that lack of production at the bottom half of the lineup. Look, he might be in a position where he feels like he has to do everything again. He's back in that Angels mindset of, hey, there's no one in front of me. I'm just trying to swing for the fence right now. I'm not trying to get on base and get over.
That's a good point.
Because no one's in front of him. Shohei was doing a hell of a lot better when guys were getting on in front of him, and he could be picky. He's not really getting the opportunity to be picky right now. So I think that's where we're getting a little bit more of Shohei, pressing,
trying to do too much. Yeah,
I
can see that.
I really think he's trying to make up for the lack of production in the bottom third of that lineup.
Man 5 Dodge said Shohei's been cold, no doubt, but we know that is only temporary. Exactly. We understand that. The whole point of 3 up, 3 down, it's who's hot right now, who's cold right now. It's not, hey, we think this player, this isn't let him play or DFA. I haven't done that segment in quite some time. So if we're doing that with Chris Taylor, DFA, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, Shohei right now, it definitely feels pressing. It feels
Chris Taylor's not even on this. We can't be just like dunking on the guy. We didn't even
Why not? He is a waste of a roster spot, and that's just a goddamn reality.
So rude. God, he's never done anything wrong.
He's done things wrong. He's done things wrong. He has confirmed as much to me on the show that I do with the lady. I think in the spirit of continuing to overglaze and cheat here, since we cheated on the down, we could cheat on the up. You've got one Japanese pitcher you like. I've got one Japanese pitcher I really like. We got to talk about my boy, Yama-san, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. 1.23 ERA is second best in baseball amongst pitchers with at least 22 innings thrown. Third best amongst pitchers with at least 20 innings thrown. Hey, how's that for cherry picking numbers for you? Tied fifth most in baseball in his strikeouts. To me, he is the stopper. He is the steadying force for this rotation. He is the ace. By the way, looking at the numbers, Hunter Green has been so fucking good for the Reds.
He's so good. Oh
It's
my God, we should
so
have traded
good.
for him years ago. We
So
should have
good.
traded for him when we had the chance.
But
Oh,
I love Yoshi, man. I love Yamamoto.
No,
He's
yeah,
everything
yeah.
I wanted him to be. Just needs to stay healthy.
Absolutely. He needs to stay healthy. Absolutely. It's he kind of has that killer look on the mound right now. Like he's
Sorry,
just.
I'm laughing at EB's comment. What is overglaze?
It's when you're cooking Easter ham and you keep putting sugar on it. Yeah.
Anyways, glaze.
He looks glaze away. He looks so good on the mound. He looks calm. He looks like he's in control. It's last year you could kind of see runners getting on base. He became uncomfortable out of the stretch. Maybe a little worried about guys stealing his signs. I don't know. This year, not an issue. Keeping the ball in the ballpark, which was a calling card of his in Japan, was he didn't give up a lot of hard contact. He's got the swing and miss. I said it last year. I'll say it again this year. That curveball is a weapon. I'm so glad he has that thing. Oh, my God. And you didn't mention it. He has the best ERA against left-handed hitters in baseball right now, or he's tied for the best. Not ERA, sorry. Best batting average against. Yeah. Batting average against.
He's very good.
Against left-handed hitters. Very, very good. He's been a ton of fun to watch. You can see why the Dodgers gave him the contract he does. Let's see if he can sustain it for a year. Let's see if he can maybe get a Cy Young. Like, if this is the start of a Cy Young campaign.
That's my guy.
Got it. But these stretches are why the Dodgers gave him this contract. Is because as much as we want it for the year, what they're really giving him that contract for is for these stretches in October. Very similar to last season. You're seeing it right now. He's been an absolute assassin on the mound.
Got that dog in him. All right.
Yeah, he does.
Overglaze on Roki, who, listen, Roki, every start has been a little better. Has been actually a lot of better. And we're seeing changes. We're seeing him get into those legs more, which is one of the things he talked about after his final tune-up in spring training that he was working on. He wanted to use that lower body a lot more, and it just makes the fastball better. Same with Yoshinobu last year, where they were working on some changes early in the season, and he kind of struggled. Same with Roki-san. We're doing that. We're seeing that with this team, and maybe rumors of his demise and his demotion to AAA were a little early.
We're a little, definitely a little early. he's not on the up because we think he's, the new ace of the team or he's the best pitcher. No, he's just made improvements, and that's what we wanted. And that's, like I said, early in the offseason when they acquired him, he's a work in progress. He's gonna take his lumps, absolutely. But can he rebound from them? Can he improve? We've seen that he got through 5 innings against, like we were talking about, a really good Cubs lineup. He got through 5 innings. Yes, he's Andy Pa has definitely had a hand in that one. That's for damn sure. But he still looked good on the mound. He didn't walk as many guys. He was able to get a little bit more swing and miss. People are having to respect his splitter a lot more because he's able to locate that fastball. I think Pitching Ninja showed a little bit more mechanics with how he's raising and lowering his
lead leg, right?
Not his lead leg. Thank you. Not his drive leg, his lead leg. Yeah. So we're seeing some tweaks, but they're coming with improvements. That's what I want to see. Is he finished? Hell no. He's 23 years old. We got him for so long. He still needs another pitch. His slider looks like a little better, but he still needs another pitch. He's going to get there, though, I think.
Wasn't he mostly fastball in that last Saturday start? Like, there needs to be more consistency. If it's just, fastball, splitter.
But he's landing it more. I mean, the first two games he was missing with his fastball by like 2 feet. This time he's actually at least getting it close. That's what, we're walking it in. We're getting there. That's we're getting there. Listen,
FIP still isn't a fan. He's got a 5.05 fielding independent pitching ERA, but we don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about advanced analytics right now. We can worry about counting stats, and for right now, Roki keeps getting better, and most importantly, his best ability for this team is his availability. He's around, something Blake Snell couldn't even do through the first month of the season. One last down, just because I wanted to complain and end on something, I don't know if it's fun.
Negative.
Very negative, but let me just say this. I hate that the Luis Garcia guy, that he's on this Dodgers roster. Like, he has no place. I understand why he is a healthy human pitcher, but how the fuck how you be having an ERA north of 7 when you're getting an opportunity with this team? And why do we always have to have one of these guys in that bullpen that's just like, you so painfully obviously don't belong there? Like, I would rather have Brent Honeywell sucking than Luis Garcia sucking for this team. So, listen, Evan Phillips cannot get here fast enough. By the way, we're hoping Honey Bun can be joining the team soon, possibly sooner rather than later, possibly as soon as the next time the team goes out on a road trip. It looks like he's about to wrap up his rehab assignment. But it's not so much about the bullpen needs help. They just need this guy gone. I don't like him. It's that simple. I don't like him.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, he's definitely not been, like, in terms of like having those guys on the roster, he's definitely been the worst of the bunch. Who was the guy, the former, he pitched for the Padres last year, or not last year, he was
yeah, I know who you're talking, because there was two of them. There's Nabil Krismat.
Nabil Krismat.
Was it him? Are you sure it wasn't the other guy?
Krismat, yes.
Because there was another one.
No, there was another one. I'm thinking of Krismat. Okay. Krismat, like, he was also kind of filling that Luis Garcia role, but he was actually kind of effective.
Yeah.
Garcia's not been effective. So
not been effective.
Bright
that
side,
bothers me.
Evan Phillips should be coming back. Brent Honeywell isn't on a team. I don't know if that's by his choice or the team's choice, but I am a little surprised that they went with Garcia over Honeywell, but that's just me.
It happens. Well, I mean, Honey was probably looking for a major league deal or something like that. He is a World Series champion, by the way.
That's true.
I love, where did it go? I saw the comment. Oh, yeah, I.E. Doyer, my guy. I'm going to give I.E. Doyer the clap here. Says Garcia should be wearing a turtleneck. That'll help.
That'll help. Absolutely.
Probably won't help.
I'm pretty sure it does. No, it does. It does.
I don't think it works that way. Anyways, that's our 3 up, 3 down. It's more 4 up, 4 down, but whatever. We're here hanging out, talking Dodger baseball. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. One more thing. Let's probably look at this Rockies series real quick, because somebody asked earlier in the chat, like, is this a must-sweep series? And I don't know that it's a must-sweep, but my God, do you need to see this team take 2 of 3? Do you need to see them get right? They need to get so well against us. They need to feast, like it says on the screen, feast on the lowly Rockies. They are 3-12 this season. all of their pitchers suck because of the Rockies. They're just the Rockies. They're bad. If you're the Dodgers and you've lost your last 3 series, you got to beat up on these guys, and you got to beat up on them very, very bad. And it starts with Dustin May on the bump against longtime Rocky, I don't know if you call him an ace, but longtime Rocky hurler Antonio Senzatella. Would you call this a must sweep?
No, but you can't get embarrassed.
Ooh, it's been enough embarrassment.
At no point can they lose like 6-1. It's either got to be close, and it was like a check swing, kind of like the reverse situation last year where Teoscar probably won and then ended up hitting a homer. Something like that loses you the game, or you win. If they start losing to the Rockies by like a significant margin, heads will start looking like Hades from Hercules.
Is this true, by the way? I think somebody, oh my God, Chris Bryant on the IL again.
Yeah.
Oh.
But degenerative disc disease, that's like a real thing. I hope he's okay. He's been dealing with it for a long time now.
Is that like the worst contract in baseball? He has a negative career 1.6 baseball reference as a Rocky. Oh, sorry. Wins above replacement. B ref. He's bad. He bad. Point is almost over 1.5, negative 1.5. Wins above replacement as a Rocky. My God.
I think Rendon still. I don't know.
That's I don't
Rendon's going to be tough.
His numbers are going to be good from that first season as an Angel. But anyway, our guy Matt Goat Yachty said, it might not be a must sweep series, but it's a must play good baseball kind of series.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see. You just got to see that, like you said, Dodgers play crisp baseball, clean baseball, play more of the type of baseball that this team is expected to play. You're World Series champions. You're trying to go out there and run it back. You're a team that opened the season 8-0. Play more like that team with a little bit of luck on your side, and do the little things right. Do the small things right that you're supposed to do. Otherwise, yeah, Monday's going to be a fun show. Or not Monday, Thursday. Actually, no, scratch that. There will not be a stream on Thursday. I'm going to the bar.
Breaking.
It's an off day. Instead, Friday or something like that. I don't know. You're probably going to be gone, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll talk. Your two people talk to my people.
Yeah, we got that.
Talk to Rob Manfred's people. We'll figure it out.
But I think that's about it, guys. We are 35 minutes away. Hey, Jeff, you'd be proud of me. I did the math right. 35 minutes away from first pitch. Getting to see our boy Dustin May on the bump again. Looking forward to seeing D-May beat these Rockies. That's what you want to do. One game at a time. Just keep moving the ball forward, keep playing the game better, and we're going to all have a good time. But with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out in the chat with us. The questions, the comments. Sorry we didn't get to as much of the chat as I wanted. I planned on doing a bunch of chat, and then we started talking.
Life happens.
Life happens. All of a sudden, you're on the 8th floor. All of a sudden, you're on the 8th floor at Dodger Stadium. But thank you for the comments. Thank you, Richie, for the super chat earlier in the show as well. Super chats really do help support the show. Being a Patreon member, a Patreon supporter, or a YouTube member here on the internet also helps support the show financially if you can. If you can't, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That goes a very, very long way in helping us continue to grow the brand, all that kind of stuff. Got some merch dropping this coming weekend, so stay tuned for that. First run of things coming up, so we'll talk about that when we get that far. I don't think I actually thanked our Patreon supporters, our YouTube member supporters. Thank you guys for keeping the show alive, doing all that kind of stuff. Thank you for the mods, doing a kick-ass job. That is producer Kevin. Give him a follow at Skinner7Kevin on the Twitter, where he does things and stuff, and he writes words at times. EB says, I'll give you money in person, Clint. EB, I appreciate that. I don't know what you're soliciting, but I'm in. I'm Real FRG on all of the things. Find me on those. I am a toy now, thanks to my friends at Foul Territory. So check that out on my Instagram. And that's about it. We'll see you on the next one. Go Dodgers. Bye.